One of my earliest memories of learning is running around my Montessori preschool. It was a big open space full of activities to engage in, and I still vividly remember every area in the room and all of the colors. I definitely saw it as a place to explore and create and learn a lot, even as a 4-year-old. I actually think that one of the teachers who made the biggest impact on me when I was in grade school was my brother. My parents recruited him to tutor me during the summer one year in the 7th or 8th grade because I was really struggling in math. Nick was something of a math whiz, but unlike a lot of people who just get a subject easily, he was also really good at seeing different approaches to a problem and breaking it down into smaller chunks. Even though I was resistant to his help at first, and in some ways determined to go on thinking math was this awful, impossible thing, the way that he was able to modify his explanations of things that I didn't really understand actually helped me, again grudgingly, acknowledge that math really was fun sometimes. This experience made a big impact on me because I saw the power of being passionate about a subject and using that passion to really fuel thoughtful instruction to help other people also enjoy working with it. I credit one of my college professors with teaching me how to read and write, which is a weird thing to say because I was in college, so I knew how to read and write. But he really challenged the students to step outside of the academic robots that we'd become. We were all kids who'd beaten the education system. We'd learned to take tests, to earn A's, and to get our homework done, no matter how inane it was. But his focus, I think, was solely on practicing the skill of learning. So I found that really refreshing and so exciting. Sometimes we'd spend whole weeks discussing the impact of a single word in one of the texts that we were reading. It was so valuable for me to try to turn off the part of my brain that cared about an A and just delve into stuff that was interesting. That was a really good reminder of what learning really is. It's not a conventional learning experience, but I think that one of the most important things to happen to me as an adult was the concussion I had starting the fall of my senior year of college. I was a competitive swimmer at my school and was kicked in the head pretty hard during practice one day. It was the beginning of what ended up being nearly 4 years of dealing with the impacts of my concussion. But the first 6 months were really challenging because I was in a lot of pain and had a difficult time dealing with that and the other effects that the injury was having on my life. I had been a senior in college, soon to be headed out somewhere into the world at what was sure to be a breakneck pace. All of a sudden, it was physically painful to read, to be in the light, and to have a face-to-face conversation with a friend. One thing that resulted from the concussion was that I dropped out of most of my classes in the spring and spent a lot of time sitting on my porch trying not to think too hard. I ended up doing a lot of reflecting, like the sentimental old man kind of reflecting when some 90-year-old dude looks back at his life and realizes all that he's been blessed with and all the amazing people he's been surrounded by, and he gets so overwhelmed with his feelings that he melts into a puddle of gratitude right there on the kitchen floor. Except I was young and a woman and on a porch. But same thing. It really changed my outlook on life, having that forced time to sit and do nothing, because I ended up considering what really mattered to me, and what matters to me is people. Connecting with people, lifting up people, helping them out, and accepting help and friendship too. I think that this experience, among others, helped shape the foundation I want to teach on. I want to help young people learn how to make and repair relationships. I want to help them learn to make connections between ideas and between people. I think these qualities make successful and happy people. I worry because I know already that I will fail a lot of my students in providing adequate tools for every one of them to succeed in this way. I know one teacher is never going to be enough for each of their students, but it's hard to anticipate that failure. I'm sure that it's going to be harder to live it. That said, I can't imagine wanting to do anything else, so here goes.